This portion of the news is brought to you by Inspiration Senior Living, where we provide affordable elegance to Pahrump area seniors. Give us a call at 751-2300 and make an appointment to tour our community.
Welcome back. C. difficile, or C. diff, is a common and sometimes deadly healthcare-associated infection. Almost 500,000 cases are diagnosed each year in the United States, usually affecting hospitalized patients and others taking antibiotics. The symptoms include severe diarrhea and colitis. Even after treatment, C. diff frequently returns. A new study examined a potential way to prevent the infection from coming back. Catherine Dolph has more in this week's JAMA report.
This health tip is brought to you by
Desert View Hospital and Mountain Valley Physicians Group. Don't put your health on hold. We have time for you. Call us to schedule your appointment. 775-751-7100.
Cheryl O'Riordan loves to bike, travel, and volunteer. But a bout with this bacteria, C. difficile, changed her life.
I felt like the lining of my colon was being ripped out. I needed to be near a washroom at all times.
Dr. Stuart Johnson from Loyola University Health System treated Cheryl for her C. diff infection.
C. diff is an opportunistic bacteria, and it can travel down the gut, start to replicate, produce the toxins, and cause the manifestations that we refer to as C. diff.
About 25 to 30% of patients see a return of the infection. However, some patients carry strains of C. diff that do not make the toxins that are responsible for symptoms of infection, in this case, severe diarrhea. These are called non-toxigenic strains.
If that strain can be established in your gut, it will keep out the toxigenic strains. In fact, it may even force out some of these toxigenic strains.
Dr. Dale Girding from the Edward Hines VA Hospital and co-authors looked at 168 patients who had been successfully treated for C. diff and randomly assigned them to 4 groups. 3 of the groups received varying doses of the non-toxigenic C. diff strain. The 4th group received a placebo.
The secret clearly was to get these patients to be colonized with this non-toxigenic strain, which just means that these strains set up housekeeping in the GI tract. We got about 70% of patients to colonize with this strain after treatment. We were able to reduce the recurrence rate from 30% in the placebo group down to 11% for all patients who got the non-toxigenic strain. And for the dose that worked the best, the recurrence rate was 5%.
Administration of non-toxigenic strains did not result in any severe side effects compared with placebo.
It's the first time that we've taken a strain of the same bacteria that causes the disease and actually used it as a preventive measure.
Luckily, Cheryl did not have a recurrence of C. diff. Her health is back to normal, and she is looking forward to
my next trip.
Catherine Dolph, the JAMA Report.
The non-toxigenic C. diff bacteria only stays in the GI tract temporarily. Study authors say this corresponds to when a patient's normal bacteria is recovered, which pushes out the non-toxigenic strain. The U.S. Department of Agriculture has expanded a natural disaster declaration to include several additional counties suffering from the drought in Nevada and Utah. Nevada's White Pine County and Utah's Sanpete County have been designated primary disaster areas due to damages and losses caused by the lingering drought. Farmers, ranchers, and business owners now are eligible for the same low-interest loans already available to Nevada's Elko and Eureka counties and Utah's Toole, Box Elder counties. Neighboring counties also qualified for the loans through the USDA's Farm Service Agency. They include Lincoln and Nye counties in Nevada, and in Utah, Carbon, Emory, Job, Millard, and Sevier counties. A visitor from Colombia is tagging along with our firefighter paramedics. Jesney Perdumo has learned a lot from our crews who are cross-trained in the field.
His brother-in-law had already brought him here before to get to know Pahrump, and he liked the area.
Can you tell me about firefighting in Colombia?
Si nos puedes decir un poco de bomberos en Colombia.
Bueno, nosotros desafortunadamente no contamos con muchas cosas en cuanto a apoyo. No tenemos tal vez la misma capacidad que tienen ustedes acá.
So in Colombia, it's a lot different. They're a little more limited on resources, whether it's manpower or whether it's utilities and trucks and stuff like that.
Are you cross-trained as well to be a paramedic?
Que si estás entrenado también para ser paramédico?
Sí.
Yes, he is cross-trained, but he was explaining to me earlier that the fire department is completely separate from emergency services in Colombia. over there, EMS runs out of the hospital and firefighters run out of their own station.
How long have you been a firefighter paramedic?
¿Cuántos años tienes de bombero paramédico?
8 años.
8 years.
8 years. What do you think that, or I saw you in the accident earlier, is there anything that is particularly way different here in Pahrump than in Colombia?
Que te miró en el accidente hace rato, ¿qué es lo que notaste que es un poco diferente aquí a comparación de cómo lo hacen en Colombia?
Bueno, partiendo desde la salida de aquí de la estación, la educación en cuanto a los particulares, que saben que una sirena es hacerse a un costado, desde ahí se comienza a ver la diferencia.
So he noticed that right from the get-go, getting into the trucks, he sees that the training is a lot different on how we start getting ready for the calls, turning out, and when we're responding, how we use different sirens to try and get through traffic, and we're a little more kind of more trained on how to maneuver through traffic too.
En el procedimiento también, el trabajo mancomunado en cuanto a la policía, por decirlo así, y ustedes, la organización, la visualización también de la escena.
So the operations he noted on the accident scene was a lot different in that we're a lot more coordinated here in comparison to there. Kind of the police only do their thing and then firefighters do their thing, but he saw that here everybody's working in unison and kind of getting things done a lot more organized.
George Zimmerman, acquitted by a Florida jury in the shooting death of Trayvon Martin in 2013, suffered minor injuries today after being shot at by a motorist. Zimmerman and the man who shot at him had been in an ongoing dispute. Though both men involved in the incident were yet to be interviewed by police pending the presence of their attorneys, no arrests have been made or charges filed in relation to the shooting, which is in the early stages of the investigation. A Lake Mary police spokesperson confirmed that the man who shot at Zimmerman, Matthew Apperson, is the same person who called police last year because he felt threatened by Zimmerman. News 46 will return in just a moment.